The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, waste our powers. Little we see in nature, that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not, great God, I'd rather be a pigeon, suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his feathered horn. These are not just lines from a 19th century poem. They are a mirror still held up to our 21st century lives. When William Wordsworth wrote them around 1802, England was shifting from pastoral quiet to the mechanical heartbeat of the Industrial Revolution. Factories rose, rivers turned black with soot, and humanity, for the first time, began to live outside the rhythms of nature. Wordsworth stood in the midst of that change and felt something profound slipping away, something not economic but existential. He felt that we are losing the capacity to feel. The sacredness once alive in nature was becoming inaudible beneath the noise of progress. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. A sordid boon, what a paradox. Our material progress, our prosperity, our knowledge, all of it, he says, has cost us our inner life. And 2 centuries later, we are still here, more connected, more advanced, yet lonely, more restless, more divided from the natural world than ever. Wordsworth's lament is not merely poetic, it is prophetic. He saw the first flicker of a disconnection that has now become a condition of modern existence. William Wordsworth was born in 1770 in the Lake District, among mountains, rivers, and valleys that would forever shape his soul. For him, nature was never scenery, it was spirit, presence, and companionship. He lived through revolutions, political, industrial, intellectual. Yet, his greatest revolution was inward. He turned from reason to feeling, from systems to solitude, and from the enlightened mind to romantic heart. He believed that poetry must speak the language of ordinary men, and that the truest philosophy is that which begins in emotion, recollected in tranquility. Wordsworth's philosophy was built on a triad: nature, memory, and imagination. In nature, he saw moral truth. Through memory, he preserved emotional experience, and through imagination, he transfigured both into meaning. By the time he wrote, "The world is too much with us," he had already seen the human mind begin to harden. The way urban life, commerce, and scientific abstraction dull our sense of wonder. He wrote not as an escapist, but as a moral witness. He was not rejecting civilization. He was reminding it of its forgotten soul. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we waste our powers. These opening lines strike a judgment but ache like a confession. Wordsworth include himself with us, as though to admit that even the sensitive soul is not immune to the disease of modernity. Getting and spending, such plain words, yet so devastating. They are the endless cycle of acquisition and exhaustion, of accumulation and loss. To lay waste our powers is to drain the very energy meant for imagination, empathy, and reflection. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away a sordid boon. Our hearts, once attuned to the living music of creation, now belongs to machines, money, markets. We are possessed by what we possess. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the wind that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. Nature, still beautiful, still alive, but she now speaks to us in silence because we no longer listen. Her winds howl, her sea breathes, her moon glows, but our souls are elsewhere, scrolling, calculating, rushing. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. This is the spiritual diagnosis. We are out of tune. It's not the nature that has vanished, it's our capacity for resonance that has withered. And then the cry of rebellion. Great God, I'd rather be a pigeon suckled in a creed out worn. Wordsworth is not turning to superstition, he is turning to a lost sensitivity. He longs to feel what ancient minds once felt, that the divine moves through all things, that even a wave of a flower could be sacred. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his weathered horn. Myth becomes metaphor. Proteus, the shape-shifting god of prophecy. Triton, the sea spirit with the conch of divine music. To see or hear them would be to regain wonder, the lost art of awe. In this way, the sonnet ends where all true poems end, not in despair, but in yearning. Wordsworth's poem is not merely about nature, it's about human consciousness. He understood that when we lose our connection to nature, we lose part of ourselves, the intuitive, ethical, and moral dimension that anchors meaning. He anticipates the philosophy of later thinkers. Kierkegaard's anxiety, Heidegger's forgetfulness of being, Marx's alienation, and even the ecological ethics of our time. To be out of tune with nature is to be out of tune with being itself. The poem thus becomes a kind of early environmental philosophy, long before ecology was born. Its ethical message is simple, yet radical. We cannot heal the world without healing our perception of it. In Wordsworth's pantheistic imagination, nature is not an object of study, it is a relationship. He invites us to move from observation to participation, from seeing nature as a resource to seeing it as a revelation. This vision anticipates modern ecological thought. Thinkers like Arne's deep ecology or Wilson's biophilia, even spiritual ecology in contemporary philosophy. Wordsworth's insight remains timeless. Our environmental crisis is not merely technical, it is spiritual. We don't destroy our nature because we hate it. We destroy it because we no longer feel for it. 200 years later, getting and spending has reached new dimensions. We are no longer just industrial, we are digital. Our world is now saturated with consumption, speed, and distraction. Yet, the same condition persists. We waste our powers of attention, compassion, and presence. The poem's lament now echoes through climate change, consumerism, and loneliness. We live surrounded by abundance, yet hungry for meaning. We have access to every voice, yet rarely listen. Today, the world is too much with us could describe the endless scrolling of social media, the numbing rhythm of productivity culture, the exploitation of the earth for profit, or even our quiet disconnection from each other and from ourselves. We have created a world that values data over wisdom, visibility over depth, and noise over stillness. And yet, Wordsworth's hope remains that through awareness, through art, through poetry, we can return to attunement. The poet's task, and perhaps the philosopher's, is not to escape the world, but to see through it, to recover meaning in the midst of motion. What then does this poem teach us here and now? It teaches us that beauty is not decorative, it is restorative. That to see truly is an act of morality. That the imagination is not luxury, it is survival. It asks us to slow down, to dwell in moments that resist commodification. The hush of dawn, the rustle of trees, the scent of rain, the presence of another soul. It invites us to live poetically, not as dreamers divorced from reality, but as beings aware that life is more than transaction. And perhaps, like Wordsworth, we too might dare to say, I'd rather be a pigeon suckled in a creed outworn, not for nostalgia, but for reawakening of reverence. To be human, he reminds us, is not to dominate the world, but to belong to it, not to possess, but to participate, not to analyze, but to feel. He once wrote in another poem, come forth into the light of things, let nature be your teacher. So, let this poem not end in despair, but in a quiet vow that we may live more inwardly, more slowly, that we may restore what is sacred in the ordinary, and that we may remember. The world need not be too much with us if we learn again to be with the world.